So I'm going to go ahead and start recording this. So this is going to be kind of a short call today. I got to get back to drinking some beers and some wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. But I had two really quick things for us to kind of look at, and one of them is there's a bunch of like it's kind of annoying that everyone's kind of telling us how or what they're doing like to combat coronavirus, right? But then you have apartments.com and Zillow and Zumper sending out all these cool like videos and stuff, and it's tough to have the time to go through and watch them. But I've been trying to every once in a while like spend some time and kind of look through and see if there's anything of good content. So I found there's a few minutes in this video that is kind of worth our while to kind of review and watch. And then I guess if you guys can put it on mute, and then I'm going to give you guys a little bit of homework. So that's why the call is going to be kind of short. And the homework is going to be, we're going to review it on Wednesday next week, because we're going to give the Oak Hill and Villagism Rally Station a chance to kind of go through and read it and get their thoughts around it. But this is just a real quick 2 or 3 minutes. I think it's going to be beneficial for us to kind of take a look at.
Update your listings wherever possible to keep renters informed.
Got it. Update your listings, even if it means using those special offers boxes non-traditionally. Okay, let's move on. What's next, Zach?
Well, we've covered updating listings and websites, so let's talk about actually engaging with the renters. Now, just because people are at home doesn't mean there's no leasing opportunity. Actually, people have more time than ever to search for their next rental, but connecting with them may require some changes in the way you do business.
What do you mean, like big changes? Because with so much going on right now, I can't imagine our partners wanting to have more work on their plates.
No one needs extra work right now. It's just a matter of timing. Now, since we don't have the ability to make that in-person connection, we should be extra diligent to those leads and make sure that we're making contact as soon as possible. Now, anecdotally, the majority of my clients' leads are leads, but the good news is that all Zillow leads will include as well, so you will have opportunities to have access to phone numbers for prospects right there too. Zillow conducted a study to learn best practices for converting leads to tours for multifamily properties by the first as possible.
I remember the study from
Okay, cool. Can you still hear me?
No, you unmuted. You unmuted the video.
All right, good.
In training it covered 120,000 leads sent to participating multifamily properties of all classes from across the country.
Yep, exactly. And through this study, we found that 95% of renters who scheduled a tour actually elected to engage via text message over email. In terms of unresponsive prospects, lead to tour conversion increased by 82% when reached out by over the phone. So now is the time you really need to make that live connection. Take advantage of those phone numbers, pick up the phone, and call as soon as possible.
Even if they didn't initially submit for a phone call.
Yeah, because guess what? Renters move fast. In that same study, we found that of those who scheduled a tour, 75 to 80% scheduled within 3 hours of submitting the original web lead. So when a renter submits a web lead, they're engaged and ready to learn more. But if you aren't calling them quickly within that opportunity, they're much more likely to move on. So this is my second tip. Anytime you get a lead, pick up the phone and call or text quick, and you'll already be ahead of the game.
Got it. So we're updating our listings and picking up the phone to make a connection. Then what, Zach?
Well, then comes the fun part, getting creative with the tours. Now, this is important. There's different public health orders in place throughout the US, so that will determine how you approach these tours. And first and foremost, we care that you're staying safe and encourage you to follow the public health orders applicable to you.
Right. We know it's really across the board in terms of what industry professionals are experiencing in their area. So, Zach, what's your approach to still getting those tours if you can get access to a model unit or an apartment?
Well, first off, be proactive with tours that you already have scheduled. Make sure you're following public health orders while still engaging with those renters and providing alternatives to an in-person tour. This might include recorded or live video tours. First, do a discovery call to address specifics such as move-in date, number of bedrooms, if they have any pets, just as you would normally for a traditional in-person tour. But this is especially more important today than ever. The goal here is to learn what they like or dislike, then follow up by sending a recorded tour directly to the potential resident with commentary personalized to their own interests. This is a great example of a way that we've been getting creative with virtual leasing.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about live video tours. What if you're in an area that allows for you to continue working on site, or you have on-site access to a model unit?
Well, in that case, you might also want to consider conducting tours via live video alternatives such as FaceTime, Zoom, BlueJeans, or Microsoft Teams.
So what you're saying is really going above and beyond to provide that personal touch we know our residents are looking for.
Exactly. That's my next tip. Use discovery calls to create personalized video tours or set up a live video tour. A great technology that has been taking.
So that's kind of, I wanted to kind of review with you guys. And I think in general, we're trying to like get the word out there that we're doing virtual tours. And so to kind of finalize this virtual tour thing today is Patty, Ann, and I are working on inserting kind of, we're doing virtual tours on our ILSs. So on apartments.com, Zumper, Zillow, there's spots where we can actually put like specials. And in those special spots, we're going to put virtual tours are available. Please give us a call. So wherever there's special. So we're going to try that situation out. And also Ann and Patty are working on putting banners on our ILSs on our main photos. But this is, and to kind of finalize our call today, because I didn't want to keep you guys too long, I set this link, it's in your chat box now. And I also will forward a recording to our team of this today, as well as provide a link in the email. But this is like a 15-page paper if you were to print it out on a regular paper. I printed it out the other day and kind of put it next to my TV when I kind of had a little bit of free time. And Ryan had sent this over. And usually when Ryan said something like this, it's usually pretty good content. This was actually really good. This was a good spend of my time of kind of going through it. I went through it once, and I'm going to go through it again. This really kind of talks about what we could potentially expect from 14 different opinions of how we're going to be doing business in the future. This is not particularly for property management. It's more of like post-corona business, customer service. I think it's really good, and a lot of the things that they mentioned in there can really relate back onto what we're going to be expecting now and also in the very near future. So for homework, I'm hoping everyone reviews it. You'll have until next Wednesday, go through and see what things that we can relate back to what our property management, what ideas that you have, what can you take out of this that we could kind of go back on and kind of promote with our management company. I know there was one thing and there was several things in there that I know John and Ryan are not going to be flying back and forth to California and Pittsburgh anymore. So in Glen Burnie. So one of the things was really neat, like why am I taking trips across country to California when I could just do Zoom meetings? So I think the kind of the travel, so business purposes, like I think the business flying is going to be probably a little bit less now. So I don't know if we can really relate that to property management, because you got to go, have face-to-face meetings at the property, check out the property, and a lot of things we can't do through Zoom. But now I think there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening through Zoom. And then there's another thing I kind of jumped back on a little bit. So at Harbor Point, we have a future resident club. In our future resident club, I was pushing rents really high this year at the beginning of the year before the pre-corona. And then, so we had a list of about 50 to 60 people on the list. And I was thinking, we're going to try to get as much rent as we possibly can. After this article, I kind of rethought that. And then having a conversation with Tom off the cuff, it was kind of like, all right, well, I don't know if that's kind of best practices, because I feel like I'm trying to get most money as I can for the property. But I'm also, not providing the best customer service either. So what we decided to do is, instead of going ahead and keeping those really high rents for 2 bedrooms at $3,000, we decreased our future resident club rents to probably about $2,800. And so I think that's where our market's going to be this year. So I don't think it would be fair to the future resident club people on the list and new people, because it's just not, it's like, I feel like it's a kind of a bait and switch. Like, all right, we signed them up for $3,000, but we're penalizing you because you signed up early, because the rents now are a little bit lower. If we were in a different market, you know, going into the summer, I think we'd be okay. I think our rents would be a little bit higher than the 3,000, but it just doesn't send the right message. And those are the two things that kind of I took out of it, you know, off the top. I'm going to go through it again, and there's a bunch of other things, and I'm hoping that you guys can relate back to property management. But you have until Wednesday next week. Go through it. It's 14 pages. And then we'll kind of, you know, jump, you know, hopefully do kind of a roundtable of like what your thoughts are and kind of share with the team of moving forward. Cool. Anybody have stuff to share today? Like I said, I didn't want to keep you guys on the call too long. I know it's Good Friday and Easter Bunny's coming.
Justin, where did you say the 14 pages was?
I put it in the chat box, but I'll also follow up with an email with the link in it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool.
And if you like this, I have a lot more articles I can send around. And there's always Matt. You can watch Matt, the leasing guy.
Yeah, Matt, the leasing guy. Well, cool. I appreciate everyone's time today. If nobody has anything else, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a nice Easter, and hopefully Easter Bunny's good to you.
Happy holidays, guys. Thank you.
I'm going to go back to the bar.
All right.
Get me a plate of wings.
Good.
Bye.
Good
You got a
plate of
green
wings.
screen
Bye,
there?
guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.